So here we are at the end of day 2 and at the end of SmallSat Europe 2025. I've lost my voice, so it's a bit difficult to do this video, but I'm doing it anyway. Last night was a late night. We had a reception here at the conference, followed by a dinner with my fellow alumni of the International Space University, followed by a trip back to the hotel and editing some video. So it wasn't until after midnight that I fell asleep. I talked too much. I had a cold last weekend, so excuse me for my voice. Another full day, as I said. It's still not finished. It's almost 5 o'clock and this thing is still going on. Unlike what you see at many events that people start to pack up around lunchtime, not here. The conference is still happening. The booths are still in full operation and people are not ready to go home yet. The sales lounge here is starting to sell out the event for next year, the second edition in 2026. That's going to happen from the 26th to the 28th of May 2026. So mark your calendars now. SmallSat Europe 2026 is happening. It's half a day longer. It's 3 days, or actually 2.5 days rather than 2 days. And it's going to be much bigger. Double the number of visitors, almost double the number of booths. So this is already an event that you cannot miss. Let me take you through some of the highlights of the day today, of the second day. And if you haven't seen my video of the highlights of the first day, then just scroll up in your LinkedIn feed or look it up here on SpaceAgendaTV on YouTube. We started this morning with a very interesting talk about developments in satellite constellations, and there was a big focus here in Europe on the new IRIS² initiative by the European Commission, where ESA plays a big role and a consortium of the big system integrators leading the effort for putting several hundreds of satellites in LEO, MEO and even in very low Earth orbit. In the next 5 years, 2029, the first iteration of this system needs to be operational. We talked about space domain awareness, spotting satellites, spotting space debris, but new to me, also spotting rogue satellites. Not all the actors in space have good intentions and peaceful and civil intentions, but there are things out there that need to be controlled. Very interesting to learn about that. I had not heard about that before. We had many tech talks about the technology, everything related to small sats, data processing, onboard data processing, and the role of artificial intelligence, another key word here at SmallSat. Then around lunchtime I recorded video interviews with several people, so keep an eye out on SpaceAgendaTV and LinkedIn for those later. In the afternoon I attended what really turned out to be my favorite sessions of these 2 days. The first one was a roundtable with satellite manufacturers, where they discussed trends, opportunities, challenges of the small satellites industry in Europe. And my main takeaway is that, well, we do talk about small sats here, but what is a small sat? And how relevant is it that we divide small sats versus, well, what I suppose should be called big sats? And the overall conclusion was that it doesn't matter, it is irrelevant. We talk about satellites and satellite technology, whether they're small or big. Was a topic maybe 5 to 10 years ago. It no longer is. The whole range from pico satellites to the biggest geostationary communication satellites, it all falls in the range of satellite technology. Then we saw a fireside chat with Peter Beck of Rocket Lab. Very interesting. Some strong messages for the European space sector, but the European rocket manufacturers in particular, basically claiming that the race for small launchers was won 5 years ago by companies in the US, and that now the game is about reusability and about medium launchers, also in Europe. So yesterday we talked about small launchers in Europe, but that race is already run, and Peter Beck and Rocket Lab is already beyond that and is now looking at alternatives to SpaceX, and reusability is the name of the game according to him. Then we had a chat about M&A activity, mergers and acquisitions among space companies in the European market. And that was a theme throughout this conference, is that the European market is fragmented. It is not very integrated, so we will be looking in the next, well, 1, 2 to 5 years to consolidation, to more vertical integration, hopefully less focus on national prestige projects, because it's killing the industry. So we're looking at less national prestige government projects, more consolidation, more collaboration, and more joint projects that are not just European in nature, but are really global in nature. So many highlights in these 2 days here at SmallSat Europe. I'm really ready to go home now, my head filled with business contacts, with new information, new trends, so more videos to edit. You'll see a lot of that coming out in the next couple of days or weeks. So with that, I'll see you again at SmallSat Europe 2026, as I said, 26th to the 28th of May next year. And booth space is selling out fast. So if you want to exhibit here, get your booth space fast, and I'll see you at SmallSat Europe 2026. That's it for me. That's SpaceAgendaTV out, and I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.